Look at this. Can you believe they made a whole f***ing game out of this? Not only that, but more than 214 million little babies play this game monthly and get their mommy's funny credit card from the purse to buy Robux and also do game development and make simple but sometimes good games if they have a team behind it. And I'll order the 15, which is really unlikely because, you know, it's Roblox. Now, my experience with Roblox is simple but complicated at the same time. I made an account in 2016, which is my first, and played fairly decent games like Phantom Forces and work at a pizza place. However, I made a new account recently, like a few months ago. Now I play dumb parody games or just genuine games I kind of like, and it's one of the worst but sometimes best experiences of my life. But the games are riddled with children who think they're the best kid in the world because they have the most expensive cosmetics in Roblox, which cause their family to go bankrupt, homeless, and in debt for the rest of their lives. So imagine my surprise when I realized there was two Roblox TF2 Ripoffs, one more distinct than the other. Aerial Warfare, a blatant TF2 ripoff that is fairly good, but also really unfair to the player. Think of this game almost as like random crits. Once you get a random crit, you feel really good. But when you get hit by a random crit, you feel like this.
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
Now, when I first tried to load into this game, it wouldn't even load in at all.
Yo, what's up? Roblox. Hell, Roblox. What a nice game. Yep.
Great first impressions. And then I had to manually choose a game server, and now I can actually play the game. Great first impressions. So far, the game looks kind of weird, even with the graphics all the way up. The models are pretty good, and the game also uses actual TF2 sound effects, but not voice lines for, I guess, copyright reasons. The game runs pretty smoothly, but it lags here and there.
They tried their hardest to lock the door, put roadblocks.
The gameplay is like TF2, but not entirely. Aerial Warfare instead feels like TF2 on crutches, but is recovering and it's gonna live a good life. It has all the game modes and almost all the maps, I'm pretty sure, and basically the same mechanics as TF2, but kind of scuffed. For example, rocket jumping feels like an intentional game bug in the game, but it kind of gets the job done, but it doesn't feel as good as rocket jumping in TF2 2. And you don't crouch and jump while rocket jumping, you instead just jump instead, which is kind of weird to an actual TF2 2 player like me, who crouches and jumps at the same time, but you can kind of get used to it.
I'm documenting this because in life is roadblocks.
The game has 5 classes, which are Scout, Sniper, Heavy, Soldier, and Engineer. Now, the reason why it's 5 and, not 9 is because some of them are merged. Like how Scout is a homeless man, Heavy's merged with Devilman, but also is a cowboy with a revolver. Soldier's merged with Pyro, which is literally a nightmare. Sniper is a merge of normal Sniper and Demo Knight. And Engineer is merged with Spy and Medic. Anyway, now let's talk about illegal firearms.
In life you have roadblocks.
Scout or Caveman is an overpowered piece of... It's just like Scout in TF2, but I don't know why, but Caveman feels so much more powerful and faster than the Scout. Maybe because, I don't know, he has 160 health. In Aerial Warfare, he has the default loadout, but Caveman related, especially with leaves and wood and stuff like that. The primary weapons he has are the Curse Popper, Dirt Pelter, Grasshopper, and Stone Blaster. Now, the weapon I really recommend using is the Curse Popper, since it's a soda popper and, it's just really good in the original game. And it basically 2-taps any class besides Heavy. The secondaries are the Coconut, Curse Meat, Dart Gun, Flying Spear, Raw Meat, and Wingman. Now, for this one's obvious, it's the Coconuts because of Mad Milk. Now, this might come off as a surprise, either that or you just don't care.
You should kill yourself.
The reason being is that basically no one else in the game has a fast shooting long range weapon besides Cowboy's revolver, and it's a really good finisher for any class that you might encounter. The melees are the Club, Rock Batter, Hex Club, Poison Oak, Spiked, Spiky Ball Batter, and Sugarcane. Now, for the best melee, it's none of them. I hate all of them. They all suck. Sniper or Knight is the good old Australian man we know and love, but mixed with a drunk swordsman. He also has the second shortest amount of weapons, which I kind of understand, but usually doesn't make the class that much fun to me, since you'll just be using the same loadout without thinking about changing around weapons for fun. For primaries, he has the dart rifle, bow, shield, Spartan shield, and door turner. For my favorite primary for Demo Knight, it is door turner, and for sniper, it's a stock sniper rifle. For secondaries, he has the dart gun, lemonade, which is just piss, and leather booties. I'm not kidding, that's the actual name. My favorite secondary is either the lemonade or the leather boots. I'm not saying booties anymore. For melee, he has a katana, great slayer, and skull cutter. And my favorite is actually not listed for no reason. I guess if we got to update the wiki. But it's actually the Ulupu Caber because it basically one-shots everything and also recharges. Now for actual sniper, I guess the developers lean more onto Demo Knight since there are more options to Demo Knight than sniper itself. Which is kind of disappointing as sniper has a lot of potential and I hope they don't just turn him into a melee class forever. Heavy or Cowboy, lame name, sorry. Is the main face of TF2 and they absolutely massacred him by giving him the least amount of weapons and basically making Heavy the least fun class to play as. Anyway, for his primary weapons, he has the copper minigun, Tommy Gunner, and brass beast. And I think we know who won this. The Tommy Gunner is the best since it's Tommy's love and we all use that in TF4.
We? Who's we? There is no we.
For secondaries, he has the revolver, aggressor, sandwich, and beef jerky. And it's a sandwich, obviously. But someone might say, Pop-Tart, what about beef jerky?
Mods, crush your skull, thank you.
For melee, he has fists, boxing gloves, and speedy coil. Boxing gloves, because you know, free crits, free kills, you know.
Soldier or soldier in Aerial Warfare is soldier with pyro. He's balanced, but sometimes playing him can feel like cheating if the opponent is either a toddler or clinically insane. And probably is because, you know, it's Roblox. His primary weapons are the rocket launcher, flamethrower, the original, Green Canyon, box launcher, rocket jumper, back burner, striker, and unprotected. For the best primary for soldier, I'll give it to the stock rocket launcher, the box launcher, but I'm leaning more on stock to be honest, but well, whatever, it doesn't care. Like, who cares, right? Like, for secondaries, he has the shotgun, boots of steel, war conqueror, combat pack, panic attack, SPAS-12, flare gun, M16A1, boots of steel, no question. For melee, he has the shovel, air gardener, mad machete, escape plan, objector, escape, tunneler, escape plan, or air gardener, for my opinion. But to be honest, I really like the escape plan now. I don't know why, but before I didn't really like it, but now I'm just like head over heels for it. I'm just exposing my loadouts to the internet at this point. I should just stop talking. And finally, the Texan madman himself, the engineer, or the inventor. Lame name, but it's alright. For primaries, he has the laser gun, ray gun, plasmarizer, energizer, and circuit breaker. Now, if you played Aerial Warfare before, then you know that the circuit breaker is the most broken weapon you have ever used in your entire life playing video games. More broken than Cyberpunk 2077 online. A single kill from your sentry or wrench can give you a free crit until you die. So you now start to see how broken this can be if there are ninjineers or trolls farming crits. For secondaries, he has the stock PDA, the Medigun, the Viswatch, Kritzkrieg, and Combat PDA. So for the personal favorite, I'm kind of stuck on this one because of the amount of weapons there are, since like there's like 3 classes in one. Like, so I really don't have any favorites for the engineer, but it's just reskin wrenches and weapons and stuff, so it's fine. But engineer solos, I'm sorry.
Guys, what is your friend? How do you shakes?
Now, I have many problems with merging classes together. Not only will it ruin diversity with different characters, but it will confuse new players, as they are first represented as scout, sniper, heavy, soldier, and engineer. At first, when playing this game for the first time, I got bewildered, I got flabbergasted and confused as why Sniper was charging at me like a British man going to empty my pantaloons.
For what purpose?
And then I realized that they merged the Devilman with Sniper, which not only confused me, but also made me want to play more aggressive and confusing as when I try to attack snipers. I always have that thought in the back of my head that they're gonna kamikaze me and make me alt F4 Roblox. Merging classes can also be a good thing if you think about it, as you can add more weapon options, but it just pisses me off when a guy I'm fighting against can be one or the complete opposite class. Anyway, now let's focus on the first positive. The unlocks and microtransactions in this game are extremely different compared to Team Fortress 2. The weapons and textures are different. And not only that, but the developers actually took time out of the day just to match the weapons with the characters you're playing as. With some of these items you can kill players and maybe the Sour Patch Kids outside your front lawn. Now to get these items you actually don't have to pay anything. How I mostly get those items is just playing the game and it'll just give you some coins if you win, but less coins if you lose. Take notes, Valve. Just kidding. Valve is a multi-million-dollar company. Of course they're gonna shove microtransactions in our throats. But I like this system of getting coins in this little baby Roblox game in order to buy weapons and hats. Now compared to Team Fortress 2, you have to pray to the heavens above to randomly unlock a weapon that also isn't a duplicate item you already had for the past 5 unlocks. But for Air Warfare, you can just play and boom, you have an illegal firearm. I wish it was easy like that in real life. Anyway, now for the actual items. They do look nice, don't get me wrong, and have the exact same stats, but some weapons have different stats than, you know, the original Team Fortress 2 items. But they also match with the character you're playing as, which I love about, since it has an aesthetic that matches with Team Fortress 2 before Jungle Inferno. And yeah, now like every TF2 clone and ripoff, hell, even Valve themselves, they all have hats in TF2, whether that be cosmetics. Now even though the coin system is new player friendly and all, and you don't have to pay, it is still tedious to play about an hour or two of this game to unlock a single crate. Now, this might seem better than to buy a key to buy a crate in TF2, because it is. But if you're someone like me, who doesn't want to spend money on Roblox, or if you do, it'll be like 2 cents and a toothpick worth of Robux. One crate in this game costs 60 cents, which is really good. However, this is ruined by Roblox themselves and not the actual developers working on this game. In Roblox, if you want to buy Robux, you have to buy a minimum of 400 Robux for $5. Now, if you even have enough Robux to buy a crate, it's still, you know, gambling.
Never back down, never give up.
There's a 1% chance of an unusual and a small chance of getting the hat or weapon you want.
I'm gay and I don't care if you love the song, I just don't care because I'm gay. Man, you gay.
I think the maps are alright, especially in Roblox standards, as Half-Life maps look better than modern Roblox game design. However, the lighting can really mess the whole map, as it will look like the developers have searched up some mountain texture in Google Images and put as the texture. The maps are pretty ugly in most situations, even with the graphics all the way up. The style they use are very on par with TF2, as they are very consistent with the art style, even with the weapons, as they look amazing with the characters and sometimes even with the map, which is really good, as TF2 sometimes breaks this rule with maps like Woodville. Don't even get me started on Woodville. Even some weapons like the Thompson and Cow Mangler, and the worst offenders being hats and unusual effects, which are absolutely horrendous in the actual game. However, Air Warfare follows a standard style and excels at it, mostly because they don't drag stuff from the community, as that's what TF2 did, which was a good business decision, but can sometimes flaw the game in certain situations, like ruining some updates. A good example being Robotic Boogaloo. and End of the Line update, which had really disastrous stuff going on behind the scenes, and in my opinion is the main reason why they don't want to do community updates anymore, except, you know, for the recent summer update. Since there's little to no documentation on this game's updates, hats, items, or anything about the game at all, it is extremely difficult to see how constantly updated the game is. The only form of actual documentation about the game being updated is from the actual Roblox website, saying that the last time it got updated, and by the time of writing the script, the last major update the game got is February 21st, 2023. And in this update, they added 2 weapons.
The first update for Era Warfare is quite amazing. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I'll be talking about the contents of Era Warfare's first major update. First, they added 2 weapons,
which TF2 fans will sell their limbs, soul, and eyeballs to even see one new weapon being added, and some new text on screen saying, "Thanks for the money, idiots," signed by Gaben himself. Even if the updates are a few weapons with some patches, it at least gives players something to look forward to, and have new fresh air to breathe that probably has some disease rolling around. Something that I noticed when playing this game and in the in-game chat is the amount of messages saying how broken some weapons are, and people begging for the flog to be added. I can see why the developers only give the community slop as an update. Flog sucks, don't add it, please.
For this section, there will only be a little bit of bias, but I'll try to lower it. This game sucks. Nah, I'm kidding. It's a great game, and it's really good at copying TF2 with some original key features here and there. But compared to the actual game, yeah, it's fine. It could be better. There's some concepts like merging classes or making weapons really overpowered or doing the bare minimum damage and giving more health to every class despite the health to damage ratio in TF2 is sometimes justified. But compared to Era Warfare, the health to damage ratio can either end up in 2 ways. More damage, more health, or even more damage, less health. And 3 or more soda popper shots can kill a heavy. Sometimes they even unreasonably buff weapons, and the worst offender is a frontier justice. And I already talked about that, since it gives free crits for every sentry kill you get. And even if the sentry is still alive, so that means if you get 5 sentry kills, you can kill the entire enemy team with 5 perfect shots. I think TF2 handled this well, as if the sentry dies, you won't have 2 killing machines killing your whole team, and will keep giving you free crits, as good sentry spots are basically a necessity for engineer. But for Era Warfare, it's perfect bait, because you will get at least 1 or 2 crits, since no one can kill you or the sentry unless they get a random crit themselves. And Scout having more than 125 health is just a mistake. Not only as most weapons are doing less damage than usual, but the Scout is an equivalent of a kid jumping because he saw a Cocomelon until when it was unwrapping his Christmas gift. Not only that, but the Ulupu Caber can one-shot basically anyone, but it's still a bad decision since people would just equip it and blow up someone and then go back to the resupply and repeat. I even did this, and it works, and that's not good. Anyway, the tantrum is done. There's more, but I don't want to drag the video any longer than it should be, and let's move on to the positives. The game has a solid art style and pretty cool weapon designs, along with sometimes good balance changes, which causes the characters to sometimes have good 1v1. And TF2 in Roblox is impressive as hell overall, as the developers basically try to make a mansion out of stones and leaves. Typical colors is also okay. In conclusion, the game's alright.
Roblox. It's free!